Good evening, Rando enthusiasts. Welcome back for the first Restream match of the 2022 Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament. I am Pix, and I am being joined by Furious Prince 97. Say hello.
Hello. How are you doing tonight, Pix?
Hey, I'm doing great. I am really excited to get back into this tournament. So tonight we are going to be playing Standard Assured. So our runners will be going through the escape sequence together, and they will be receiving a sword from their uncle. You just played one of these earlier today. How do you feel about the Standard Assured start?
I'm sorry, you broke up one more time. Sorry about that.
So we're starting Standard Assured. So we're going to do the escape sequence and start with a sword. How do you feel about the Standard Assured start since you just played one?
I actually like them. I feel that it just gets a lot of the checks out of the way. You don't have to worry about coming back to do it later, and you can route a little bit easier knowing that Central Hyrule is out of the way.
Right. So today we have our two runners, Bread-kun, who is being mentored by gammachuu, and Jerrock13, who is with Mike. Do not know very much about these runners, so I'm very excited to see what they're going to do.
Very excited. Ooh, Quake and Link's house. That's a nice start.
Yeah. So these runners are heading into the escape sequence. Their mentors are very likely reminding them that they are looking for bombs. So they're going to be looking for usually that single heart, the small magic, or just a straight up bomb drop. And yes, we are playing Standard Assured for, I believe, both of the first 2 weeks. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. For these Swiss rounds, it's going to be very interesting to see how much our runners can go and get from their mentors over the next 6 weeks.
We also have a boomerang. We're going to be able to stun some guards. We're going to be able to do some boomerang strats for escape. And it looks like our stun prize is actually bombs.
Oh, wonderful start. Be able to clear out 3 more items in the back of escape. See what they can get.
Yeah, really nice. It doesn't look like Jerrock has found that out yet. Bread has opted to pick up a couple of bombs on the way.
Always nice to pick them up early on escape, not just for the back, but once you get out, when you head over to Kakariko, you can check out a good 3 different spots with bombs.
Yeah, much more convenient not having to go kind of down or around or do some of that save and quit out of the thieves' hideout routing.
Can always save you rupees for something more important, like bottle vendor, or later on when we need to go to Zora.
Exactly. Oh, and a free moon pearl today as well.
Cool. Let's see where our runners go after that. Now, if you were to go and get a moon pearl early, what would be running through your head right now?
So until you get any of those other pieces of Dark World access, the big thing is going to be the ability to fake flipper when you go to South Shore. You're able to pick up those out of logic waterfall fairy and waterfall fairy check. Also found the cane. The other thing I'm watching out for in this mode is when you get the assured sword start. That also reduces the AGO requirement by 1 item. So your typical Dark World recipe is, a hammer, one of the gloves, and the pearl. The aggro recipe being 2 swords or sword cape, plus a lamp. So we've lowered that to 2 items, while the normal Dark World access with the conventional Dark World access is still 3. So at least my experience in the Assured Sword rounds was a lot more aga.
Yeah, a short sword of a challenge when you realize that Aga can always be looming at just a pickup of 1 item, 2 items.
Yeah, it's nice to it is nice to have the guaranteed weapon when you're starting out, but the game will push back. So Jerrock has a little bit of a lead heading into the back of Escape. Bread has taken the time to farm up some additional bombs. It's going to be really interesting to see what pack the rats are in, to see if she's going to be able to pick up some bombs. It looks like she has not been particularly interested in checking the Sun Prize.
Do you think maybe her mentor has reminded her about checking them?
Uh, I'm not I'm not sure. It's this room right here, Dark Cross, is a really good room to first get that boomerang out to clear some space with those snakes. And there's a bow. The castle is
That
just
is.
full of goodies.
Wow, this is gonna be this is gonna be interesting. See where they go after this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think once we get our first map check, if Eastern Palace is a crystal, and depending on how comfortable these runners feel in the dark, that could move Eastern up your priority list. I still think going to CAC is kind of what you would expect from most players coming out of Escape, though.
More than likely, but without her checking the stun prize, I just wanted to point out that in the seed that I had run earlier today, um, our gloves weren't in really nice locations, so running back through, it's just really helpful to remember that the cone for standard mode is always going to be available whether you have the lamp or not, even if you have to run back through the back of Escape.
Yeah, an interesting logical edge case for standard. The most interesting thing in that side room was the cape. So we are 1 item away from Aga, um, but it looks like Jerk has been able to also get back in there.
Bread-kun with a little bit of a lead hitting at a sink, but they'll probably catch up some point here in Kakariko.
Yeah, unfortunate having to go kind of up and come back, but now these runners are out into the world, and we have our map check. So it looks like we have crystals at Hera and Desert, and a blue pendant Eastern Palace.
Bombs on the tree pole. That's a nice thing to see. And the lamp.
there's the lamp. So yeah, I expect we're gonna see these runners follow each other. Bread did not opt to go check the Aga ledge. So there's going to be a piece of information that Jerrock is going to have over Bread. It is a time commitment to go up there. Some people wait until you do the mountain. Some people wait till you have boots. Um,
And a big 300, so Aga may or may not still be required.
yeah, but there are a lot easier ways to get to earn $300.
Yeah.
I would say personally, I'm not a huge fan of heading up to the lumberjack check. It is a piece of information. I think it's more valuable in the open modes when you're still trying to pick up a lot of resources. But in
Ooh,
this
Hook's
case,
out there and blind.
yeah.
Jerrock opting not to pick up the small shield like Bread-kun did.
Yeah, some people are very pro shield. Some people are very anti shield. Looks like they are not a shield team. Yeah, a lot of really nice stuff in the early game.
Too many good items, though. You might start getting a little bit overwhelming for the runners about which way they should be going. Even with mentors in their ear, they might start doubting themselves on what might be the best path.
Oh yeah, there's definitely the opportunity for that analysis paralysis. Just gotta pick a direction and walk. Just some sort of money laundering operation here at the bottle vendor.
Got to appreciate their choices of sprites too. Bread-kun with the wolf link and Jerrock with the Hello Kitty.
Yeah, love all the sprite options. Yeah, the shield decision is very tough. On the one hand, you don't want to fluff. On the other hand, it's just nice to have a shield sometimes.
A lot of love here in Kakariko. Now you have the bow and you have the lamp, but you also have the book. Knowing that Desert is a crystal, do you head over there first before you decide going over to Eastern to even check Sahasla?
So the problem with Desert is you're gonna need a glove to finish it, and it's quite a hike. Yeah, I think the kind of conventional South Shore, dam to dam mini mold arm ice rod cave route is probably what we're gonna see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whatever you feel like you need to pick up safety wise, pick it up. Taking 5 seconds to grab an item is going to be a lot faster than dying anywhere.
Bread-kun with the nice block clip there in the dam.
A single arrow. Jerrock is going for the blind race game check. That is an interesting choice. If it is something you want, it saves you some time.
That really pay off.
Personally, I like it with boots. You don't have to spend one of your bombs, which are really important in the early game, and it makes it faster. In this case, you walk all the way over here for the heart container. Take the heart container.
Yeah, if I have a choice between taking just a heart container or a rupee, I'm always going to take the heart container.
Interesting to see what Bread is going to opt to do here with the Moon Pearl. You are going to be able to go up to the Zora area. It is out of logic without flippers or a glove. But don't currently have the money for Zora. Do have a loadout where splash deleting is possible. I don't know if that is tech that this runner is comfortable with. So it gives you the option to get the Zora ledge. We'll see what they choose to do after this.
Meanwhile, Jerrock's still catching up to where Bread-kun's already covered, but hopefully we'll see a little bit of route diversion here shortly. Bread might go and do the Zora area like you were just talking about, and Jerrock might go and find something else to go and do.
Oh, well, there's your Zora money.
Yep.
So.
Even with all the hearts, I'm not gonna question on Bread's decision to be very cautious about taking any damage. With only a heart and a half left, be very careful when you could just set up fake flipper right here.
Yeah, you are hungry. Mail your Oko to the crabs at this point. So don't try to be a hero. So we're gonna see Bread go to Hobo first. This is pretty common because you can get the fake flipper back with a particular jump out of here into the transition.
Do you think we'll go and see him check like Highley Island on the way out?
I'm not sure because I think at this point, you know, if you don't find anything at the Zora area, you're gonna go. Your next play is Sash, and the Eastern Dip, because you don't feel compelled to finish Eastern if there's significant value there. You know, at this point, we're talking about glove or flute. So, they are gonna.
I saw something red.
Yeah, that's a mirror and flipper lock pair of boots, so that is some really good information.
Looks like Jerrock's about ready to follow up in the same route. Let's see if maybe they get the same information on those boots.
Yeah, we are 3 races into the 2022 Men's Tour tournament, and that is the second pair of mirror lock boots we've seen.
Bread-kun also just picking up the flute there in Waterfall Ferry on the left-hand chest.
All right, a mirror lock flute, or a flipper's lock flute.
And if you choose to splash sleep, there's a bottle there on Zora Ledge that could get them sick, kid. But it also depends on the comfort level of the runner right now.
Yeah, zigging and zagging all the way to King Zora.
Well, if the bottle vendor was money laundering, Zora just decided to take it all away.
Yep.
Bread learning a hard lesson.
They are going for a splash delete. This is a really hard splash delete too. But they get it.
Looks like Jerrock's not going to follow up. I think they just grabbed the boots and went to Hobo, and now they're headed over to Sahashla.
They got hit. She got hit in the fake flipper, which is a soft block. So this is going to give us a better picture of our logic. Jerrock on our way to the in logic checks, expecting Bread to go check Sick Kid, activate that flute. Very likely head to the mountain.
Surprisingly, not checking with Sahashla where her green pendant is.
Yeah, I think outside of Key Sanity, there's not a lot of value. It's not going to save her a Dark World map check. So as Jerrock heads into Eastern Palace, it's going to be interesting to see what we have routed ourselves around. It's very likely an item that we need, whether it's going to be gloves or flippers. Sick kid, nice enough to give us the shirt off his back. Yeah, absolutely not going to say no to the blue mail. Earned it with that slash delete.
Absolutely. And also having the lamp, this decision to have a new save and quit with old man's not a bad decision either. Well, that flute is still glove locked at the moment.
Yeah, there is a glove somewhere.
We might see Jerrock here find it shortly if the logic's dictating ourselves over to Eastern.
Yeah, it seems very likely Agina also in play here. Dipping Desert without a glove for a vanilla glove is also in play. I believe that was map. Yeah, that was map and compass. So we know for a fact that the big heat chest is going to be an item. Yeah, I think the DP dip looks attractive with the information that we have right now. I think the thing for bread is that there are 6 items in the Sahashala area that have not been touched versus 1, maybe 2 items if desert is nice to us. But also knowing where the boots are too, and the propensity for desert to be boots locked, I can see the appeal of trying to stay out of it until you know you can full clear it.
Absolutely. There we go. There's one more sword. Aga's looking to start. Aga's starting to look very, very attractive.
Yeah, it would not be out of question, especially with a bow and early access to Aga to just have that first glove sit in pod.
Oh, what a hard fall for Bread on that attempted bomb jump. Let's see if he can get it on the second try. Very nice. Jerrock opting to go for the slower Armos kill, but at the same time, if that's what they're most comfortable with, there's nothing wrong with it. Still a very nice fight. And a fire rod.
Yeah, that is almost assuredly required. So now at this point, what's the what's our answer? it seems like it's the logical expectation here is going to be to dip desert without a glove or go to Aga.
Has Bread gone back to Kakariko at all to go see Sick Kid? Oh,
Yes, that was where the
no,
blue
sorry about that. I saw Hello Kitty's blue, and I was thinking that she got the male upgrade as well.
Yeah, it's I'm interested to see if Bread's going into Eastern. I expect that they're going into Eastern. And I expect that Jerk is going into Desert.
Well, with this little bit of a virtual high five, anyone in the Twitch chat can go ahead and follow the Gomo podcast, exclamation point podcast in the chat. We'll lead you right to the link for it.
All right, here we go. Both runners are headed into Desert Palace.
Bread with just a little bit more items out of logic, but at the same time, they're both just looking for one item at this point. See which one can get to Dark World first.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of an advantage build up for Bread though, with the ability to get that out of logic flute, and now also the Master Sword. There's a mobility and a combat right now. All right, so our big key is on the torch, so we are boots locked out of Desert. Yeah, they started to go look for it, but they know by process of elimination that big key has got to be on the torch. But both runners are going to go and pick up the half magic while they're there.
Always a nice safety item to have when you don't know if Trinex is required.
Yeah, and I think for going into Aga Tower, especially for Jerrock, that fire rod is the best weapon that she has. So that's gonna increase it from 8 shots to 16 shots. And this is the Aga play.
Jerrock has a little bit of a information advantage, knowing that yes, Saga is required, but she won't have to spend any time later once getting boots worrying about what's on Lumberjack.
Yeah, it's a quick trip up there, but it is a trip that she doesn't have to make. A little bit of the difference there. Bread opting for the bow versus the fire rod for Jerrock. Yeah, depending on where that mirror winds up, the option to combo bot with Eastern.
Thinking about their rupee counts, Bread's gonna have just enough to get into pod, whereas Jerrock's gonna have enough to not worry about knowing she can get there whenever she finds the chance to head up to Zora area. Now, obviously, we know that Zora is nothing, but she unfortunately does not know that just yet.
Yeah, we're likely gonna find our way up there. We need to find our way up there because there is a flute up there. We will get our Dark World map check soon, and find out exactly what we're gonna need to finish the seed. But it will be interesting to see when that mirror shows up. If it's an opportunity for Bread to combo Pod and Eastern together, or if it's an opportunity for Jerrock to combo maybe Catfish and the Zora area together, and pick up some efficiency. So we have our first runner headed into the Aga fight today. Prince, what are you thinking? 3.5 blue balls, you want over or under?
I'm gonna go under.
All right.
And there's one.
Yeah,
Really
getting,
nice.
Getting really close to Aga. Not afraid to make a new friend. Trying to get that spin off and the ball back as quickly as possible and squeeze out as many frames as possible.
There's three.
As you are generating your ROMs, generating your race ROMs, you have an option for deuce flashing. I am so used to it now. When I see NMG runs, it is jarring to see regular flashing. So highly recommend if you have not tried that feature out to make that your default.
I'll give it a try. I think we're up to 5 blue balls. It's 6 blue balls at the moment. Both of our runners some dangerously low health.
Yeah, Jerrock is taking a lot of hits by standing north versus standing east-west to avoid.
Oh,
That is a very unfortunate death.
hopefully she can recover and get it back up to Aga quickly. Just a piece of heart on the pyramid.
There's our Dark World map check. Swamp is our green pendant, red pendant, ice, and I saw a red crystal pod. I did not see the other red.
The other red crystal was on Thieves Town.
Perfect. Yeah, so that fire rod is 100% required today.
Brett is definitely hoping to find either the mirror or the glove here in pod.
Yeah, I think in these Aga seeds, if you have to if you have to do Aga and come into Dark World, even if you have the ability to go to the west side of Dark World, I think it's worth doing. I think it's worth going in if you have a bow. If you have hammer and no bow, maybe you think about it, because you can come back and full clear later. But with bow, you're gonna be able to get everything, get the big key, and maybe you're able to figure out the helm is nothing, and you just come clean it up whenever it's convenient.
Round 2 for Jerrock coming up on Aga. Let's hope she gets better luck this time.
Yeah, hopefully they've had a little bit of time on this climb back up to kind of talk strategy.
Bread finding the big key down in Stalfo's basement.
Is that our second non-item? I was looking at the Aga side.
He found a key in left side, and he just found that on in the basement.
Oh, okay. Oh no, and the glove.
I missed where he found the glove. He might have found it on Arena Bridge.
Yeah, so it was the glove and then dropped down in the Stalfo's basement, so we know that key chest for a key. I'm gonna grab a couple bombs and Death Warp. That is also Aga down for Jerrock.
Really nice fight on the second go around.
And without flippers, is going to be forced to pod.
We get a map check over on her side. So now that we know that Trinex is required, how long do you think it'll be before Bread follows back to Eastern to clear out and get the fire rod off of Armos?
You know, I'm not sure. It's going to depend on what happens as they go around the Dark World and see what gets picked up along the way, and when they eventually get railroaded back into it. You know, if your hammer's on Mothula, you're going to end up there pretty quickly. Looks like going for the hammer jump. This is outside of Key Sanity. This is the one opportunity where you have a spare key to get out, and you have the big key and no mirror. That's the only time you're really going to save time doing it. But it is very important tech to know for Key Sanity. And it's also just fun to do on Restream.
I'm sorry?
So it's also just fun to do on Restream. It's fun in these races to showcase the things that you know.
Especially in a tournament like this where it's a tournament designed specifically for people to learn techniques like that. Powder was found there in the basement. Good find. They could find the hammer.
Yeah.
And even a nice safety item if they can't.
Looks like Gamma talked Bread out of going to Hellway. He was headed away to E. with one left.
Jerrock looks like they considered going down the left side, then they remembered they didn't have a small key.
So the nice thing for for Jerrock is that when she has the glove out of here. So leaving pod, going to be able to just go straight and resume this Dark World loop, versus having to go and pick up some of these other items. It'll still be interesting to see when she can get back to go for the flute. But it looks like Bread is opting to do catfish before heading around. It makes a lot of sense with the Zora area already done in Light World. This is going to be a hard check to get back to.
Yeah, and definitely makes more sense while you're already over here without a Titan's mitts to easily find your way back.
Yeah, go into catfish like this. It's it's eating your broccoli, right? Like you wanna go to Thievestown and Skullwoods. Your dessert. You gotta eat your vegetables first.
Because just the one seed that you don't decide to check catfish is going to be the one seed where it's important.
Yeah, well, catfish is just a litter bug today. And hello to Mr. Aaron Snurd popping in with a party of 3. Welcome to AGA for access to pod to get your first. And now we are on our way around the Dark World.
And for those of you just joining us as well, Master Sword was found up in Death Mountain, where Bread sequence broke to get his flute from the Zora area, where Jerrock has decided not to follow up with yet.
Yeah, Bread has a little bit of an advantage export. Got that out of logic, which led to flippers and a Master Sword up on the mountain. Whereas Jerrock has the Fire Rod, which is on Pendant Armos. So both runners have something in the other one right now. Missed what was on Bumper Ledge, but it doesn't seem like there was much interest in it.
It was a red rupee. Currently, one item that our runners are looking for is Bread's looking for the mirror to also go and grab Boots, which is on Lake Hylia Island. And Jerrock's trying to just catch up in any way that she can. Oh, Titan's mitts.
Yeah, that's a really nice find in the front of schools. Jerrock and her mentor are going to have an interesting decision to make. We have not found another sword, or also missing a bottle. Don't know how comfortable this runner feels on a low percent moth fight. But with at least 2/3 of our Dark World equation here in the Dark World, that is 100% confirmation that there was no way around Aga today, which I believe we already knew.
It's always fun when you realize, oh, I can do all these things. Oh, wait, they're locked behind Aghanim.
It's... Personally, I like to click the Aga Dead button on my track. Just so I see them there, I know they're there. It doesn't usually show up on least the trackers I use, it doesn't show up until you actually kill him. So. Yeah, it looks like they're taking a key for convenience.
Unfortunately, Bread having to make a double dip here later on with no fire rod.
Yeah, I could see the mitts being a compelling reason for someone to just say, you know what, I've seen enough. I'm gonna do the Skullwoods one and done, and just head home with my mitts. Yeah, I agree. I kind of like the you walk into Skullwoods, there's an item in the map chest, and just saying, well, I've seen enough.
Time to head home.
Yep.
It's entirely possible we see a Froggy World Tour with no mirror but Titan's mitts.
Yeah, it's really easy to come back up and grab it.
I don't think that chess game seemed fair, did you?
No, I don't think that they're gonna be in business.
Jerrock making easy work of the mummies here with her fire rod.
Yeah, Fire Rod, Red Boomerang, you can make these guys a non-issue. I think that she forgot that she has a cane, though.
I think so too. Bread, meanwhile, making his first way into Thieves Town for us.
And I'm gonna wait a second to see if she goes out the door. I think Jerrock is opting to go to the back. This is a scary fight. This is 7 hearts, fighter sword, green mail. You do have a cape, you do have fire rod and half magic, so.
Unfortunately, unlike Bread, she also doesn't have the red potion that he picked up off of Zora Ledge.
Yeah. And without finding those mitts in the front, gonna have to go to bridge chest first. Well, there's our second item. Unfortunate if she was planning on death warping. So we still have not found our small key. It'll be interesting to see if it winds up in blind cell or if it is in fact locking itself.
I think their best hope is that it's locking by itself without having the mirror, without having a hammer on them as well.
Yeah, that that is some logical implications. The logic doesn't count for the absolute wild boy routing of stealing the key and going. And it would have the further implication. Town is a 5/6. So of letting our runners know that our hammer could not possibly be at Pyramid Ferry, which is probably the best possible hammer location you can have.
Jerrock going in on a 4-heart Mothula fight. Let's see how she does it.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, that is a rough fight. She's going again.
Oh,
and
it worked.
there's the Thieves Town small key. So, we have just created a very unfortunate orphan. So if something is in that chest, get comfortable.
Wouldn't it be the best if hammers on Mothula?
You know, if you're a breadhead, that is not what you want. Jerrock gents, that is probably one of the best case scenarios for you.
I just like causing chaos. Commentators hurt.
Yeah, depending on where you're at, man. Yeah, this is a fight that I blew last year and had a mentor say, put a pin in it. We're gonna come back to it later.
When I first started running Rando, I thought Mothula was probably the hardest boss in the game until I started figuring out some more tips and tricks for it.
Oh yeah, it's one that can, when it goes bad, it goes bad.
Bread running out of options now. He has South Dark World to do, but he might be forced into Eastern just a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's we do have the mitts now. So that's gonna give Bread the Mire areas. If that's
Mire
quick,
area, Dark Death Mountain.
Yep, Dark Death Mountain with the hook shot.
We gotta give it to Jerrock. She's being very persistent on this moth.
Yeah. Oh, she's going back. Yeah, this is gonna feel bad because we know the other items. There's nothing of value back here.
Unfortunately, but she can at least get the crystal, which is well worth it.
Yeah, there's a
and we're going on a world tour.
yeah, this is a time for a runner and a mentor to have a conversation about the sunk cost fallacy.
Oh.
Yeah, just really got bullied by the spikes and got run over by Moth right there at the end. And I think they're calling it. This is for the best. They're gonna go pick up the mitts. We're gonna get a peek at what's in Hype Cave. I feel like we gotta have him here coming soon.
Jerrock picking up her mitts.
All right, and we're gonna see the continuation down into Vu with both items found.
Bread, unfortunately, just not in the door far enough for the smith to go the first time through.
That's an oddly appropriate reward.
So far, you have to start to question whether or not sequence breaking was the right answer.
I think as long as you're on top of where everything is in the sequence, and in this case, they've found their way back to it. It's just now there's nothing that's going to give them guidance. Fire rod could be just because of how available the lamp was. Nothing in the back of Skull Woods. It was hard fire rod locked. And we do not have access to Meyer. All right, this is the DDM play for Bread.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where else he can check at the moment. This might just be our answer along with where the mirror is.
Yeah, got the go in down here. I think you're right. I think there's got to be something up here.
Did you happen to see what was on the floating island earlier when Bread came up the first time?
No, I did not. Or if I do, it was not important and don't remember. Nothing is super funny so far. Oh,
And
double
then
Mambo.
both are bombos.
So we can take a little stock right now. What do we need? As a restream, we need to find the ice rod. We need to find bombos. We need to find the mirror. And we need to find the hammer. Well,
Oh, unfortunate death by Jerrock over in Thieves Town. Looks like Bread's about ready to make his way over to Spike Cave.
yeah, without the mirror, I really like finishing the mountain play with this, with that hammer. And with cape and half magic, super comfy to get to the back, though I think they're planning to hold on to some of that magic. Ooh, pays out. People hate Spike Cape, but it's got a lot of value, man.
I've learned to not last location it myself recently. Take 2 up in the attic for Jerrock.
So, Bread is taking the hammer back to pod. That is interesting. Versus, potentially going into Hera.
I think his line of thinking is the fact now that he can clear it and it's one of his 5/6, might as well go ahead and get the big bomb out of the way.
Yeah, but you had nothing to really combo it with.
Fair.
You're just hiking it. Mitzwer, yeah, front of Skullwood's map. I think what'll be interesting to see is one, all right, where the heck's our mirror? Because we want to go fast, and 2, how much is that fire rod block?
That is a very good question. We also now got to figure out where our bombos is to see if early fire rod was a good decision or not. Obviously, it's a required item for TR, but for right side TR at the start.
Yeah, sometimes you can get. Sometimes TR will let you pretty far in without a fire rod. Doesn't very often. But also, what if your bombos isn't ice? So we know there's nothing in the back. We know that bombos can't be in TR. There's not a lot of fire rod lock places it can be. But one of those very spicy places that it could wind up in is at Thieves Town Big Chest.
Looking at the tracker, I just realized it actually could be on pedestal.
Yeah, that is not outside the realm of possibility.
Who doesn't love a good ped seed? Oh no! Does she give it one more try?
Yep, looks like she's going to the back. But that is also the Helmsword King down for Bread, who is going to be taking a 2-0 crystal lead. And there's our mirror. So what is the next decision?
If I'm Bread, I would honestly start making my way up to Tower of Hera, now that you can also check the ether tablet and Hera itself being a crystal. But first thing first, it looks like he's gonna go get those boots.
Yep.
His wet, soggy boots.
And yeah, unfortunately, the all of Bread save and quits in the Dark World are going straight back to the.
And unfortunately, it looks like Jerrock just decided to opt out of going back to beat blind. Gonna do more of her overall checks instead.
I don't hate it. The blind refight is bad. We got a real dearth of bottles, in this sea. The male is also not in very kind places for her.
No, absolutely not. Bread decided to go and do Desert Palace now that he has the boots and the mirror.
Yeah, I think you can mirror yourself right there and get it. You get Checkerboard Cave. Just pushing Crystal Dungeon progression. I have also only found one item out of Desert.
Now, being in this area, how likely do you think he'll be to go to Swamp Palace before going back to Eastern?
I mean, Swamp Palace is 6 items and Green Pendant. Eastern is 3. Although if I'm going independent, I'm looking for a reason to not do Argus. But Pendant Swamp with boots, man, that's not a terrible deal. Also, with the mirror, you get the ability to put Bomb Dose Tablet in with it. I don't think you do it over Crystal Hera. But I think you can do it and then pick up the big bomb and take the big bomb after that. Your big bomb did come into Logic very early.
Well, he also has the option to go back and do hammer pegs and the purple chest now that he has the hammer and mirror. Finish up the smith chain.
Well, we've already seen the right side of Desert. We were able to get the small key and go there. So all we had left was the big key on the torch and the big chest. We saw the one item on the right side already.
Very nice landmo fight. Tempered sword with the cape. And Jerrock has her first male upgrade.
Yeah, that's something that's much needed. The first couple of bosses have not been very kind.
Not at all. Let's see if she's inclined to go back and do Thieves Town now that she has a little bit more protection. Looks like she might be headed up Death Mountain for the first time.
Yeah, looks really appealing. Mitts and Hookshot going to be able to get.
Jerrock picking up her flippers. And just 10 arrows on Ether Tablet.
Alright. one of the exciting things about watching all of the new Minties play. Let's see everybody's Haripot set up.
I personally didn't know how to do it until Sunday night, so I'm just intrigued to see somebody else do it. I knew it existed, just never knew how to do it.
Looks like this is the hook speed setup. And there we go. That hook speed is quick, but the Philly pot it's nice, it's consistent for every loadout.
That's personally the one that I learned how to do.
Yeah, I think it's very, very quick and easy to pick that one up.
Very beginner friendly. Bread making quick work of Moldworm.
Yeah, temperance work making it nice and easy. And that's our second item.
Now he has to start questioning, where else can I go that's not a pendant? But unfortunately, looks like that's all he has left. He has Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, and pendants.
I think, is this Swamp? I think this might be Swamp. Yeah, Swamp. Swamp the densest thing on the board right now. You have a 3-item North Dark World. You have a 3-item Eastern. An 8-item when you throw in the green pendant and Bombo's tablet area.
Jerrock was just a little too far up for her first bomb jump, but got it on her second attempt.
Right back.
Okay. As we get our first look at Bombo's tablet, let's see what Bread can go and get. Oh, Vanilla Bombos. That's now twice today I've seen that happen. So far, Bread, we as commentators are just 2 items away from no mode. Well, we're 1 item away from no mode. We just need to know where the ice rod is. Jerrock just cleaning up Death Mountain. Everything Bread's already covered, but she'll also now have almost all the same items that Bread has, other than the fact she'll have Fire Rod.
Okay, I am back, and we have found Bombos. Was it Vanilla Bombos?
It was Vanilla Bombos for the second time today.
Oh.
We are now just 1 item away from no mode.
And yes, our Fire Rod is on the Armos Knights. And unfortunately, this has also opened up Ice Palace as a potential Fire Rod location.
I'm still hoping for a Ped Seed. Now that we just know that Ice Rod is the only item that's needed for go modes.
I think a very interesting outcome is we know that Jerrock has to go back to Thieves Town for blind, and she's gonna go back with the hammer after doing Hookshot Cave. So that Thieves Town big chest would be very spicy.
Well, now having more hearts and another male upgrade, I'm really excited to see her go back to Skull Woods since she has the fire rod and Bread doesn't.
Yeah, but still, no bottles. Where are the bottles?
I was wondering why Bread was doing that, and then I just remembered that he doesn't have it.
Nice and quick though to get it done with the lamp.
I think my favorite ALTTPR fact is just the fact that all the cutscenes are 17 seconds. This one just feels a lot longer. Jerrock definitely looked like she's about ready to go back to Skull Woods, get her revenge on Mothula.
Yeah, unfortunately, skip Spike Cave. So missed out on the sword. Not the end of the world, but really nice to have from off. We are on our way to dueling boss fights. I think Jerrock should get to Moth first. Cape, half magic, and tempered sword is a pretty comfy Moth loadout, or a Biddy loadout for Bread. Master sword, blue mail, and 8 hearts dropping in is pretty good Moth loadout.
She's gotta be careful though.
Yeah, just trying to go for the perfect spin is hard. Sometimes you just gotta take slashes. Taking a
Bread
few
with
hits.
Bread with a quick vitreous kill. Oh no! She was so close. But so far.
Yeah, Master Sword, you just gotta let that first spin go and spin Moth into the block, knock that first 25% off.
Now it looks like Bread's gonna go and continue his swamp play.
How deep in the swamp was it? First chest?
Nope, he didn't do anything in swamp. He went and did
Oh, it's combos. Right. Yep.
combos first.
Yeah, you can't go get the magic out of Small Woods Middle. You could go kill Blind, get a magic refill off that. Then you still gotta hike back to the back of Skull Woods. Oh, we got them in the Moldorms. I mean, sure, a full coin collection for bread.
Looks like he just remembered he has both of his 5/6, so he's on his way to the pyramid. I'm actually surprised he's taking this way around instead of mirroring and taking Aga. Yep, there we are.
Yep, there's the realization. Yeah, it just seems like a commitment to avoid pendants. This is 2 items. Swamp is 6. Ice is 3. Eastern is 3.
Knowing that one of his go mode items is in Eastern, it's gonna be a little bit of an interesting decision on what he does next.
Unfortunate moth death.
And she's putting a pin in it again for now. Unfortunate deaths, but at least it's a smart decision to just take a break from it again.
Yeah, this is week 1. You know, you got some time. Week 2's gonna come up next week. You got 7 days to work in some moth practice.
Bread really is avoiding just. He will do anything in his power to avoid an Eastern or a swamp play.
Yeah, just jump it up in the air. The floor is pinned in.
He hasn't even gone to see if pet is required either, so we don't know anything at this point, really.
Well, that answers the question about one of our bottles.
Unfortunately, Jerrock's also still not gone over to any of the Zor areas, so she still does not have a flute.
Where was our powder?
That is an excellent question. I think powder was in Waterfall Ferry as well.
Actually, that sounds right, because I think Bread had it when he was in that area, but needed mirror or hammer as a means to check it. Down to 2 hearts. Oh, is that a blind lumberjack check?
Jerrock had detected earlier, Bread, that's the first chance he's seen.
Yeah, I like the blind lumberjack check. Yeah, for chat, as for future races, I know that there is a restream scheduled for tomorrow night, 10:30 Eastern. I believe there's also Friday around 3 p.m. Eastern, but make sure to follow the Go Mode Podcast Twitch page. Turn those notifications on. You'll get notified every time one of these races is going live.
And if you also want to go ahead and join the GoMo Podcast Discord, you can go ahead and join in on discussing these races along with the rest of us. Our first ped check, and now I'm sad.
Well, there's 5.5 more weeks of Swiss. There's going to be there will be ped seeds.
I'm confused if Bread just pressed the wrong button.
A little preview of what's going to happen in the first round of ice.
Jerrock also hasn't forgotten to do any of Tower of Hera as well while she was up there when she grabbed her flippers and such.
Yeah, without the mirror, I guess I understand why you could potentially put it off, because you do have to save and quit back to Light World and then take the long way around again. So maybe you're fishing for a mirror before you go up there.
This seat seems oddly familiar in some locations.
Now we're gonna get to see the icebreaker. Really well done. So Jerrock did take the opportunity to get additional magic, opting for cape, and then gonna hold the wall to keep the magic from draining down. That should get her through the fight, no problem on half magic. Jerrock.
Does she take the opportunity to dive back in to see what's in Big Chest?
You know, that is a meta play. Knowing where the mitts were, knowing where the hammer was, and how very easily that big chest was orphaned. I could see the decision to go back in, but she is opting not to.
Meanwhile, Bread over here finding our third bottle of the seed.
It's but this is the first time we're seeing hammer pegs, right?
Correct.
There's a bottle. We have reached bottle percent, albeit through very different ways.
Zora Ledge, Graveyard Ledge, Freezor Room, and Hammer Pegs.
Welcome in, Raiders. We are about 90 minutes into this Swiss round one phase of the Go Mode Podcast 2022 tournament with Bread-kun, mentored by gammachuu, and Jerrock13, mentored by Mike. So far, we've had an Aga seed to get both of our gloves out of Dark World and our hammer out of Dark World. We also have a fire rod on Pendant Armos.
Don't let the trackers fool you either. This has been a very close and very nice race between these two runners.
Yeah, the double required bombos is vanilla. And I think this is the Zora area play for Jerrock?
I think maybe she forgot what was on. I don't know. She didn't even recheck hit Lake Hylia.
She got hit fake flippering. So I don't think that she made it to Hobo. And with Catfish already done, I think it makes sense. There's no efficiency to be gained then going to the Zora area. But we are now in an Ice Rod hunt. We know where everything we need to finish the seed except for the elusive Ice Rod, and the only thing I can tell you for sure is that it is not on Trinex.
Yeah, so far we know that it's not on Armos, it's not on Mothula, and it can't be on Trinex.
We also know it's not on Pet.
Yes. Sadly.
We do have a 6-item pendant ice, which is looking pretty tasty. Bread is opting to clean up the Smith chain, and then I would expect that he is going to follow this into Pendant Swamp.
Jerrock thankfully finally getting her flute. Although I'm scared of her reaction is going to be when she sees that she wastes 500 rupees on a 20. Are we finally going to see it? It looks like it. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially in no mode.
Yeah, that is a very friendly Ice Rod. Unfortunately, we're going to see probably the entirety of this dungeon.
Sadly, we could have also found it about 20 minutes ago. But as you said earlier, it basically became pendant, the floor is lava.
So, yeah, at least it wasn't full pick a pendant. That's probably my least favorite kind of seed, where it's just hope you make the right choice between the three. You had to at least set foot into one.
Now, the next question comes to be, does Bread go up to TR, or to Turtle Rock, and pray that the fire rod is early on?
I'm not sure. Interesting that Bread has opted to go to the back. I'm not sure what your thought is. I'm looking for an excuse to not go to to Pendant Argus.
I typically always go left side first, but I've always found Argus to be not so troublesome.
Yep. Yeah, the boots have been seen. It's just a matter of going and getting them.
It requires Jerrock to go and beat Helmasaur to get Mirror, to then go over to Lake Hylia.
Yeah. Or from their point of information, go into pod for one item. Got bumped by Argus.
Very nice Argus fight.
Yeah, the timing to get that phase 2 quick kill done is really tough with the Ice Rod.
So along with the green pendant, we also now have a fetch quest to go on.
You know, green pendant may also push them towards Eastern.
Oh,
So
we can only hope.
I do understand that, I guess, the logic of getting your and then going to Eastern, especially with Swamp being twice the items. I hate this walk of shame back into the left side of Swamp. It feels so slow, and I hate the entire time I'm walking away.
It only gets worse when you try and do left side first and realize you flood the key and don't know how to do a diver down.
So Jerrock is heading in the right direction on her way to pod.
It is the right direction, and I'm actually kind of hoping that after this, after she gets her boots and such, she does attempt another Mothula fight, but now that she has her red mail.
Yeah, red mail, 2 bottles.
One of them has a fairy and the other has a red potion, if I remember correctly.
Well, at the very least, there was a unique item on left side Swamp, so you can take a little bit of solace in that. The only 10-pack of bombs you can find. I mean, it's not a total loss. Brett only had 9 when he found them, so.
Now we get to see what the mushroom leads us. outside of the fire rod, which we know where it is, I believe there's only 2 real unique items that could help them finish up this seed, and that would be Silver's and Buttersword. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, since swords are all progressive, and bows, wouldn't really consider either of them a unique item. We are basic a silver arrows away from a trap.
Bread, you should take that heart really, really seriously. That old man gave you his heart because you
Yeah.
got back his family heirloom.
Now we have both of our runners on their way to a boss with an item that they need.
I will be right back.
Okay, did Jerrock despawn her block by walking that far down?
I didn't see. When I looked, she still had a block on screen.
Did she pop it, or did she? No, I think she just despawned it. So Jerrock is now facing off with the Homosword King. Sword out for safety. Unfortunately, Homosword hard locks our boots and their spin speed strats today, switching to the bow for the comfy phase 2.
Bread also decided not to go for the quick Armos kill.
Yeah, just going with what they're comfortable with.
Nothing wrong with it.
And at 143.22, Bread-kun is now in go mode. now a little bit of panic. We did 2 pendant dungeons. We did all 3 pendant dungeons. We only needed to do quarter of one. So now it's just time to strap on your boots and execute.
Jerrock, unfortunately, hopping in at the wrong spot of Lake Hylia. You have to do a little bit of swimming to get around to where she needs to be.
Yep, but on the way to her boots. I wonder where they're going now.
Well, with the current logic that she has, she found a fire rod in Pendant Eastern. She found Titan's Mitts in Gull Woods in a map chest. I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to just do Ice Palace just to see what she can get.
I think getting back to solid ground to get a flute off, because it's gonna be desert. And there's the Skullwoods Compass for Bread, who now has 6 crystals and will be on their way to Death Mountain. Oh, this is the Pyramid Fairy play.
Trying to remember if there was anything there. I believe they got the mirror, or well, I believe Bread got his mirror shield. Obviously, she'll be getting her red shield, fire shield there.
Yeah, it was a shield and I think some bombs. Maybe a free potion, but yeah, a little bit of a surprising choice with two crystals available in Desert Palace Tower of Hera. Red is now on his way into tournament. We will see how nice the dungeon is for a go motor.
Jerrock also looking to be doing King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge. Unfortunately, only finding bombs in King's Tomb.
Yeah, unfortunately for Jerrock, we know the answer is Swamp Palace and Bombos tablet. Oh, there's our silver arrows. A really nice find on the way into. So a very comfy Ganon loadout for the end. Kind of expected in what kind of turned into almost a full clear seed.
Just very, very close. Now we can only hope that GT Big Key is in a really dirty position.
Ooh, nice little Samaria toss strat.
And both of these runners have absolutely just played a very fantastic game so far.
Yeah, this has been a tough seed for these runners.
Jerrock on her way to do Magic Bat will also find still more bombs.
Yeah, and if you have enjoyed watching these runners tonight, please give them a follow for putting on a show for you. Bread-kun and Jerrock13 in their first of 6 Swiss matches.
And their mentors as well, because both these runners were trained with the help of their mentors tonight.
And while we're go-boating TR, also a shout out to my co-commentator, Furious Prince 97, who is also running in this tournament. Not only had his first race of the Swiss round tonight, but also doing his first commentary and doing a fantastic job. Our Restreamer Lumaga and otherTom tracker tonight. And if you are interested in volunteering, please stop by the Discord. Submit yourself for a volunteer this whole just for the runners, but also for all of the volunteer roles.
This is actually my first tournament in general, so I'm actually just really excited to be part of Gummo Podcast. I didn't discover the podcast at all until maybe January of this year, so I'm having a blast just being a part of it.
So we are not going to be able to skip Laser Bridge today.
Thankfully, it was just a 1 check, and then we're done.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed they didn't even just go straight for the bottom chest. I'm a firm believer in that there are 2 keys that never shuffle regardless of playing, whether it's standard, cross keys, no logic. There is always a pod key in the basement pod, and there is always a Turtle Rock small key in the first head down to Trinex. Dealing with a little bit of a hockey rink there on the right side. We got the second head down.
Bread having a little bit of a close call earlier, having to use his red potion to keep himself alive.
Yeah, it's about 10 frames per heart to refill, but you know what's a lot slower than that? Dying.
Yes. Very, very much so.
Especially because Brett did not opt to take the safety on all the way back to the big chest. But that is crystal number 7. Prince, I took you on our first bet on balls, so I'll try at some favorable odds. Let's say GT Big Key 7.5. You want over or
Oh, I'm going over.
all right.
My personal favorite number is always going to be number 13, so I always have to go over for that one.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna have to pay the frames either way when you once you kill the boss. All right, we are into GT. You coming to GT? You going left or right, Prince?
I go left. I'm a firm believer there's just more item density on the left-hand side than there is the right.
$300 and a key, and they are headed to the compass. I think with boots, the right side of GT is very fun to do, especially when you punt some Mario blocks.
I don't know, that room that he was just in, just always with that wall master.
Yeah. I like going right and then mirroring before I have to do two fire bars. That's very annoying to do without invulnerability. There it is, number 3. Looking for an extra key. He's gonna have to go get the one off the conveyor.
And we are in the gauntlet.
Yeah, this is the this is the worst part of the race. You're going up through the final exam of the game. Some of the toughest rooms. And you're thinking about all the mistakes that you've made during, because you know that your opponent has just played it perfectly. And you're waiting for the dot. At least that's the way I approach it.
If I can even make it to GT by the time my opponent's done, I just feel like I've accomplished something. It may be the first time I've ever seen somebody bonk inside the cave.
Nice use of the fire rod.
Definitely very helpful when the floor is made of ice.
Ooh, really nice, really nice shot to the right. Now into a couple of the more satisfying rooms.
Absolutely. I'm surprised Jerrock didn't grab the magic refill and use the fire rod in here.
Yeah, may not have been aware that there was one right there by the bomb slug. The combo powder refill and the last art piece refill.
Very satisfying to watch.
Alright, there is Moldorm 2 down. Thank you for showing us the validation chest. Just a single green rupee. And now it is time for Bread and Gamma to break out their protractors for Agatu.
Would that make it a task?
Alright, out of there pretty quickly. Tough patterns.
Got through it nice and easy, doesn't have a heart missing. Jerrock, on the other hand, is about ready to go and fight her Viddy too, or her Viddy.
Yeah, already getting the cape out. Bread, going ahead and breaking out the cape. Just gonna get nice and comfy. And into phase 3.
Oh,
Fairy bottle.
even with a
out.
fairy, it was so heartbreaking to watch because there's nothing she could have done about it.
Alright, that is Biddy down as we are into phase 4.
Oh, very tight.
Good, we kind of got away with one there.
I'm wondering if Bread just had a heart attack. Very nice Ganon fight.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in the chat for tonight's winner, Bread-kun, with an official racetime.gg 20419. And hopefully we will get these runners and mentors for an interview. And Jerrock is entering a forfeit for this match.
Oh.
Hello,
GG's.
we are joined by the winner of this match, Bread-kun, and his mentor gammachuu. GG's.
Yes, GG.
Hey.
Is that fire rod? Yes, sir.
Lovely spot for that, right?
Yeah, that was not great for how things worked out. We are also being joined by Jerrock and Pi right now. GG's to you both.
The seed.
It was a very mean seed. It was if Fire Rod wasn't in Eastern Palace at that point, our only 2 checks left was doing Thieves Big or the first check of TR, and that's it.
Yeah,
was-
so the big difference was that Jerrock, I believe you got hit while doing the fake flipper. Bread, you were able to continue and get the flute and kind of sequence break the mountain for a little bit. But you ended up both kind of converging back to that glove. How I guess Bread and Gamma, how did you approach that, knowing you had that out of logic flute and then the out of logic flippers?
Honestly, when I got the flute out of logic, I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty great. I like this. Potentially avoid Aga 1, and then I saw the flippers on there. It's like, oh, what is this?
That was funny to see. My first thought is, okay, this flute is, could potentially break us away from an Agassi, because it was looking like an Agassi. Then we get the flippers from Old Man, like, wow, this is glove lock. I really hope there's if we find the glove up there, it would have been obviously mitts, logically. But I'm just focused on, please get us away from this Aga play. But it's also a reason why I told them maybe we should consider doing pod, just because we don't have no hammer, no glove. I feel like a pod play might be nice, but it could be empty. We don't know. It's Rando, right? But yeah, it's just like, I think we need to do that play. And I also told them, dude, the bow only unlocks Armless Knights. What are the odds Armless Knights has anything if we want to make that play? And it felt like we did the good play, all the right plays, right until Fireball happened.
That sequence of items after going to pod, getting the second glove, confirming, okay, yeah, no, this is like hard confirmed. Aga didn't waste time.
Yeah, after Jerrock got hit in the water, we were like, let's just do Saha Eastern, and then because we had the bow, so it's like, let's just finish Eastern. Why not?
In logic, yeah, that makes 100% sense to do.
Like, just one item, it's a blue pendant, but I mean,
It was like the only thing I felt good about during that whole run. I'm like, okay, cool, that's gonna be something important, and then I just got murdered by Moth so many times. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
Moth
really-
just mocked me.
it was really unfortunate because Bread, you executed a really fantastic splash to get that bottle, which then also led to the whereas Jerrock was kind of pushed into a very unfortunate low percent moth and low percent blind fight. I guess what was the conversation like, Jerrock and Pi, as you were heading to the back of Skull Woods, and then also heading to the back of Thieves Sound on that loadout?
I wasn't
it-
confident, but I had practiced it earlier today, and I was doing really well in practice. So I'm guessing I'm just having like restream jitters, and this is my first time I've ever raced ever, so that's not helping either.
Yeah, for first time racing, getting restreamed to hundreds of people.
Yeah, it's definitely like a whole new experience to me. Like, 'cause I'm coming from just doing multi-worlds and like, oh, let's just do funny settings and just have fun. And I don't know, I was just randomly talking to Pi, and I'm like, would you theoretically be my mentor if I signed up for this tournament? And now here we are.
And I kept telling her she could do it, and I know she can. It's just jitters and first time and big stage. It's like, also, no bottles. Like, wow.
Yeah, that bottle on the ledge is the only one for a long time.
Yeah.
We found one.
One was in
Was it Hammer Pegs? Yeah.
Hammer Pegs had one.
Gabriel Edge was another one.
Yeah.
Yep. And those are the 3 we found.
I found the 4th bottle. I'm trying to remember where it was. Exactly.
The 4 bottles were at Graveyard Ledge, Zora Ledge, Hammer Pegs, and
Swamp?
then
No, ice. I think it was. Yeah, but if you don't get that bottle early on, I told Bread, this bottle gave us, it's a nice safety, and Sick Kid giving the blue armor. This is really nice to have early on, right before we climb Agate Tower. So going for that mod fight without, any of those safeties, it's really tough, tough early on, low percent.
Yeah, unfortunately, like all we had left was Ice Rod for Go mode. We were actually just starting to clean up all the dungeons. So how bad was Ice Rod?
It was the first check in Swamp.
Oh, I probably would have not taken her there for a while.
Yeah,
So
that probably.
Yeah,
Swamp was one of the last like after Swamp was like didn't do Smith Chain stuff yet, and the items in Swamp, because Swamp also had a mushroom in it and green pendant.
Yeah, because the way we had things lined up, it would have been like Turtle Rock Hera left for crystals. I'm like, okay, we'll do Hera, and then we'll do Turtle Rock, because it's private and Turtle Rock like it always is.
And,
And then after that, we probably would have gone to Swamp.
Brett, I wanted to at least ask you, Pick and I were sitting here discussing about how it felt like it was just pendant, the floor is lava. Then you would switch for every other overworld check that you could go for.
So, part of the thought was, okay, as we're going through checks, I'm like, if they made the Eastern play and it was right, then they have a massive advantage. But if it's wrong, I'll have a very large head start. At least, like, I'll have a pretty lengthy head start if I skip past it. And then, from all the stuff telling me, oh yeah, Aga was 100% required, there's no way around it, made leaving Pendant Eastern, it didn't feel bad at the time for quite a while, honestly.
Yeah, it felt good, because once we found Bombos, I told Brett, it's how this is gonna go. We're gonna find Bombos first, and we're gonna go get our Fire Rod in Ice Palace. And from there, we're going to go to TR and find our ice rod that's probably sitting in there for go mode, right? That's how it's going to go. And of course, none of that went according to plan. But hey, that's how Rando goes, right? Sometimes I'm not a big fan of Pendant Eastern to begin with when it's looking like an Agaseed. But, it's a hard call. It's a hard call.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was one of those things where it was just a gamble of hoping that I would have an advantage if I left Eastern, but knowing that a lot of people would probably make the Eastern play to just make 100% sure to avoid Aga 1, and that's not that unusual, I don't think. And so to try to create a bit of a buffer, and it turns out that wasn't the right call.
I mean, it really just kind of depended, because it was just, for a while, it was just a question of like, all right, well, where's this glove? And it could have just very easily been an Eastern, but it turned out to be, yep, do Ago, walk the pod, let's just play an MG, right?
Yep.
So, the other thing I wanted to ask about was, Brad, you were a little bit slower through escape, but that's because you were using your boomerang to farm a lot of bombs. Jerrock and Pie, did you realize that was your stun prize early on?
I didn't even think about the stun prize. I was focused on what the prize packs were, and then kind of like going from there.
That's kind of what we were practicing a lot, is trying to learn which prize packs are like, a thing.
Yeah, because you're not always going to have the luxury of a stun prize like that, so you kind of have to like play like you don't have it.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Yeah, I didn't even realize you picked up. I'm like, wait, oh, you just picked up a boomerang. Okay, cool. We could see, what the stun prize is, and luckily it was bombs.
Did not even occur to me. I just kind of zoned out. I'm like, that's the beginning of the seed. It's fine. Just focused on getting out in quick enough time.
Right. Don't get killed by Bell and Chain. That's the toughest boss in the game.
Right.
So I think that's about all I had. I guess one last question to both of our runners. Heading into week 2, what's the number one thing you're going to be working on? We'll start with Jerrock and then go to Bread.
Well, for sure, I need to keep practicing my low percent bosses, but I just kind of pointed out that I need to work on, what did you call it?
Combat prowess. Because as you probably saw, she would get a guy jumped on her, and all of a sudden 4 hearts are gone because she's just not able to shake them off.
So that's something I need to work on, and just keep working on optimizing some movements where I can. That's kind of where we're at right now, and I'm sure Pi thought of a couple other things that we'll touch base with tomorrow, because it's like 1 o'clock our time, and we're both
tired. That's fine. I only have to be up for work in like 4.5 hours. I'm used to it.
Who needs sleep?
Right?
Oh man.
Yeah, Brett. What about you? What's your practice look like next week?
Maybe I guess a lot of things I'm kind of indecisive in a lot of areas. I'll tend to pause, be like, try to think a plan, and then sometimes I'll try to think of like a 10-step plan, and then in my brain I'll immediately jump to step 5 of the plan and completely skip the first 4 steps.
Yeah, that's one of the first things I kind of told Jerrock to stop doing. Just be confident in a route. Like once you say you want to do a thing, just beeline towards it. Don't try to get yourself talked over and make other plans. You just have to have confidence in your movements towards what you're routing for.
Mm-hmm.
I just have one last question about what you guys thought about the seed. What did you guys think about your boots location?
It was nice because I knew where it was, so that was cool.
Funny story. Me and Jerrock were doing like an ambrosia just to practice escapes, and the boots were in GT in that seed. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna be one of those nights. Got it.
At least you know.
Yep.
We see the boots right there. Like, whoa, we were just talking about boots too. Like, as we were doing the fake flip green plays, and hey, there it is. It's right there, the boots. But we were glad they were early on. It would have been nice if the mirror was much earlier than it was, but hey, it was.
Yeah.
It was good. It wasn't.
At least I'd rather know where my boots are than guessing and hoping wherever they might be. Yeah. Which then, of course, me being extremely elated the moment I pull that mirror, I'm screaming, going to boots immediately. Don't care anything else. I'm running over there.
I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, boots time. Time to go fast.
I don't know what it is. Sahabot is on a late boots kick lately, at least in what I'm seeing. So.
Yeah, because that was mirror.
Yep.
That was mirror in what? Pyramid, right? Pyramid Fairy?
Or Helma.
Helma.
Helma,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Helma. Yeah, Helma. Yeah, I remember it was definitely Potter after. Yeah, and there you go. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh,
Pyramid Fair
goodness.
was like a shield and a heart piece or something like that. Something lame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But GG's, Bread. Congrats on the win.
GG's. Yeah.
Yeah,
GG to
looking,
both runners. This was pretty much a low percent seed early on in the seed, so you managed to survive it through. You know, kudos to you. GG's again, Jerrock and Brett.
Yeah, I think you both played great. Really excited to see what you both do over the next 5 weeks. And with that, if you did enjoy watching the restream tonight, please give our runners a follow. And did anyone have anything else? I think
I think I'm good.
Welcome to the road racing, guys.
Thanks.
Enjoy your stay.
Yeah, at least I have experience with Zooter. That's always been my primary game before jumping in here. So at least I'm somewhat comfortable in the racing scenario, at least for a completely different game. I've never touched racing in this game.
Well, I hope you guys have a good night, and best of luck, Bread, with the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, you too. I mean, you still got another 4 or 5 weeks left of Swiss.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm hoping for at least some improvement.
I think you already got enough. Not enough, but you're already on your way to improving.
Yeah, one seat at a time. And again, GG's to both runners. And thank you guys for putting on this restream.
Yes, thank you so much.